Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Now you know I'm trying to start a craze here. The unboxing and unwrapping stuff on the Orchid channels is really popular. You wouldn't dream of getting a new orchid and not doing an unboxing video. It's just everybody does it. Apparently it's not that common on the Bonsai channel, so as I say, I'm starting a craze. Postman Pat's just been. He didn't leave his black and white cat because he thought I already have two. Now, I don't buy things for bonsai very often. I haven't got many trees, as has become apparent. Therefore, I can't work on a tree every day like some people can because I haven't got 600 to choose from. I haven't even got 20 to choose from. So, you know, I can't do bonsai videos every day. But I am planning for some more trees. Now, a lot of those, if not all of them, will be collected because I can't afford to buy an established bonsai tree because it's hundreds of pounds, if not, you know, heading up into the thousands for the really good stuff. I haven't got that sort of money, so I can't do it. So it will be mainly collected ones, but I will say that next weekend I'm off to, it's organised by the Staverton Bonsai Society, Bonsai Group, whatever they're called, and it's a boot sale. There are some traders there, and I've never been before. As I said, this bonsai hobby of mine is only just getting going again after a very long period of nothingness, should we say. Watering, that was what I did for about 4 years. Yeah, so I'm off to that. And from what I hear, so I met a guy at the expo in Crawley, I went along to that, who I knew from a bonsai society that I used to belong to a long time ago, Wessex Bonsai Society. And we had a chat and he said, you must go to this boot sale. It's well worth your trouble. And I got the impression that a lot of people go along there to sell some of their plants and possibly their pots. So not just the traders. Anyway, I should be going along to that. I will be taking my camera. And then when we get to September is the big one. The Heathrow Bonsai Society's annual sort of show and fair. And it is huge. There's 36 bonsai societies attending with displays. That's a lot to see. And it's funny, in the little bonsai events calendar that I've got, it basically says, traders, too many to list. So I suspect virtually all the traders will be there. It is the big one. So I should be going to that. And in addition to that, I'll be taking my camera, obviously. So what has he got in the box then? Well, what he's got in the box is pots. Now these have been very well wrapped. And firstly, I'm impressed with people who sell on eBay that use a bit of logic, use a bit of common sense. Now I know common sense went out in the 60s, it's long since gone now, there's none of it around. But I went on to a bonsai shop, yeah, and started looking at some pots. And I stored some of them in my watch list, so I don't have to keep going back and looking for them again if I change my mind and all that sort of stuff. I got offers. The seller actually sent me an offer, said you can have this pot at this % discount. Do you wish to accept? So that was good. And in addition to that, I bought 3 pots. Yeah, 3 pots. It looked like there was a 4th one in there. Have I got a freebie? No such luck. So I bought some pots, and I bought them individually. I didn't collect them up in the basket, I just bought them individually. But they've all arrived in the same box. Now that's how it should be. So there's only one lot of packaging, only one lot of postage, you know. The guys probably saved money by doing that as well, so even more common sense. Anyway, let's see what I got. These are not good pots. This is not, you know, your Japanese specialist type pots. They're probably cheap Chinese ones. They're second hand and they don't want to come out. Right, so we might have to undo the old tape then. I was hoping it would just slide out, but doesn't seem to want to do that. So we'll cut the tape and unwrap it. And it still doesn't want to come out because there's still more tape holding it in. Right, so pot number one. Now these are imperfect as well as being cheap and cheerful, basically. They have imperfections and they're second hand. But that's a nice shape. Imperfections. It's an oval. Yeah, the feet aren't in the same place relative to the oval. And it's got a kink there on the rim. Quite honestly, for some bonsai in my garden, that, for me, that's a nice pot. It's a lovely colour. I'm happy with that. Especially bearing in mind what I paid for it, i.e. next to nothing. Now I need somewhere to put it. Plonk it on the end there. Right, so that's pot number one. What else do we get then? So they're all from the same place, so they're all the same sort of quality, they're all second hand. They'll probably all have imperfections, and that's just how it is. That's what I can afford. When I wanted to repot my my lightning strike Scots pine, one that I've had the longest, well, one of the ones I've had the longest, I wanted to get a certain type of pot for it. And the cheapest one I could find that would be the right size, the colour I wanted and everything like that, was £120. I can't justify that for a pot, I just can't. Not with the sort of bonsai I'm growing, you know. So it stayed where it was and I found a pot that I'm relatively happy with. Right, pot number two. Now this is a strange shape pot and I really like that shape. I don't know why, but I took a look at it and I thought I like that. At least the feet are in the corners on this one. I mean it's got a chip there, little chip, but not the end of the world. The rim is relatively level and again I like the colour. I like the way it gets dark on the indentations and the ridges. Yeah, I like that. That's two. And number three. So when you get a box from a seller, make sure you get all the packaging out. Because you often find there's something in there. You know, there might be a voucher for next time or something like that. So it's always worth having a good look round in the packaging to make sure you've got everything out. I mean certainly with the, oh I forgot one of them had a tray. I don't really want that, I shan't use that. But it went with the pot, so we've got it whether we like it or not. But I can't see me using that somehow. Yeah, always have a good look round in your packaging. With one of the main orchid sellers that I use, I've often had a freebie thrown in. I had one freebie that was classed as a challenge plant. I've enclosed this basically as a challenge. Now try and flower it. Keep it alive and try and get it to bloom. Well, I have done. So I suspect if that ever happens again from that seller, the next one's going to be a really difficult orchid to grow. Because I rose to that challenge, no problem. But you don't get this sort of thing. I mean, in the orchid world, you've got the same problem in the bonsai world. You know, whereas you might have ordered some bonsai trees, you know, from Europe, while we were in the European Union, that would have been no problem. You can't do it now. You know, you've got import taxes, all sorts of stuff in your way, and chances are you've got CITES in your way and you've got a load of paperwork to do. Photosanitary blinking certificates, and you know, nothing's easy now. Now, you can see I quite like the green, but I also like blue, and I got that one. That's an unusual shape. Well, you should be able to see why it's an unusual shape. For its length, it's quite narrow, so it might lend itself to a twin trunk perhaps, or perhaps a little forest, you know, with a couple of groups of trees in or something like that, but something a bit different anyway. So those are they. No freebies. An awful lot of cardboard. Luckily cardboard is recyclable, otherwise it would really annoy me, the wastage, but cardboard's recyclable, so you know, this will all go in my recycling bin. And you know, can be taken away as such. It is a bit of a nuisance when you get this amount though, because that's like half my dustbin filled up in one go, but you know, it's quite a large package, I suppose. Ugh. So there we go then. 3 new pots. They won't get used this year. I'm of the frame of mind that repotting is a spring thing. I know it can be done in the autumn, but for me it's a spring thing. It's something that I think should be done, or what I do, whether it should be or not, as the sap's rising. I was just going to say I got a wonky one as well. I know my table's not absolutely level, but I've got a feeling that's slightly wonky. Never mind, as I said, they were only cheap. Cheap and second hand, so I'm sure I will find a use for them. And yeah, as I say, I do my repotting when the sap moves. Yeah. Now, not quite so important with most conifers, apart from larch, obviously deciduous. But you know, it's the ground's like a maple. As soon as I see those buds start to swell, then when the leaves drop, all of the chlorophyll and all of the stuff gets drawn back into the tree and ends up living down the bottom of the tree and in the sort of root system and stuff for the winter. And then all that starts coming back up the tree to push those buds out in the spring. And I look at it like this: if all that stuff has already moved away from the base of the tree up into the twigs to where the buds are, then at that point in time there's not much going on with the roots, so that might not be a bad time to disturb them. That's my theory anyway. That may not even be true, but that's how I think of it. So there we go, unboxing on the Bonsai channel. You're going to do it. I'm going to get everybody onto this craze so that it becomes normal when you get something new. I mean, okay, if you just get a new pair of trimming scissors, perhaps not. But you know, if you order a new tree online, if you ever do that sort of thing, or get some pots or stuff like that, and it comes in a box, or you know, an unboxing video. People like to see what's in the box. It's a fascination with the unknown, I believe. Well, I think. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.